Purna, is it audible?
Kindly mute any one of the devices. There are actually 3 devices logged in. Kindly mute one of the devices.
Wait. Now?
Yeah, absolutely. Ma'am, yeah, you can begin. Yes. You can turn on the video. Sir, kindly please turn on the video. We are live.
Good afternoon, all. Greetings of the day. I, Professor Srimati Ashwini Hongal, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. On behalf of JGCC family, I extend a hearty welcome to you all for today's session. It is an honor and privilege for me to welcome today's resource person, Professor Ramesh Badiger, Assistant Professor, Tontadarya College of Engineering, Gadag, Karnataka. Sir has completed his MTech in Digital Communication and Networking from UBDT Davanagere. At present, he is pursuing PhD in CSE from BTU Belgaum. He is certified with the CISCO CCNA by Amrit University Network Academy, Coimbatore. He has undergone Android Developer Fundamentals trained by a Google developer and sponsored by VTU. Sir is awarded with a prestigious Adarsha Vidya Saraswati Rashtriya Puraskara by Global Management Council, Ahmedabad, and also received a top second best performer from the CISCO. Sir has presented nearly 10 papers and attended the national and international conferences. Like this list goes on and on. With this brief introduction, I here hand over the session for further proceedings. Thank you all.
Thank you. Oh. Shall I take over the session or some
Sure.
formalities to it?
Sure.
No, sir,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
you can start. Yes.
Okay. So myself, Ramesh Badiger, as the introduction has been done. Okay. Thank you, Ashwini. So warm welcome for me. And most of you all know the networking nowadays, social media is working. Okay, so each and everyone is addicted. Normally we can say addicted to the social media nowadays, all the platforms you take. Okay, messengers and all the kind of message talks that you normally do in networking. Okay, so do have an impact on you. Okay, so with this concept, I would like to enlighten you all with some of the informations what I know and what we do uh, at the back end. Okay, so I had an experience of 2 to 3 years of experience with hardware devices that we uh, do not actually see them. Okay, so most of the networking devices that are prevailing in this world are done, manufactured and distributed all over the world by the Cisco company. You all might be knowing that. So with all those devices, we'll be handling them, we'll be manipulating them, and we'll be working with them. Even we'll be trying to crack the informations so that are being lost or that are being uh, given and forgotten. Okay, so with that a small introduction, like what all the precautions you have to take whenever you go to some public network. So public network may be anything. Okay, that public network may be a hotspot of your friend, or maybe a Wi-Fi connections, or maybe any kind of an access point that you get. So access point is nothing but has Wi-Fi connections that you get in the theaters or maybe some streets and all the things. Okay, so it's almost giving your phone or any kind of device that you take over there, giving that device to the outside world. So that's how your network will be working. Small very intelligent precautions you have to take whenever you go to such kind of public networks. Okay, so I'll be sharing you the screen. Okay, so just confirm the screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir. Yes. Please, sir.
have shared. I have shared the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, it is visible.
It's visible, right? Uh, yes. It's a little delay, taking time. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Okay.
Okay. So thank you all once again. Let's take some few things that you have to be aware of. Okay. Normally, what we do is when you go to some social networking. Okay. Normally, we say networking. Okay. Networking might be of any kind, any platform or any type. So there has to be some security issues that you have to take care. And side by side, you need to know what is big data. So what is big data is not the data which is big, right? Analogy meaning is the same thing, but big data is some collection of data normally, right? And here we'll be going with some of the few things. Always I start my presentations with computer knowledge, and I will take it up to the field what you are going to, because it's always starts from the place where you are sitting till to the place where we have to search for, right? So I have heard like the target some of your friends who have joined this group are from non-technical background. For their convenience, I will take with a small scratch level of understanding till to what is big data. Okay, computer knowledge, and I will be seeing it how it is computers are related to networks, and in the network what happens to the network and how the information is stored, retrieved, and tracked and analyzed. All the things will be done in the networking. Okay. So end of this session, we'll be able to understand what is computer knowledge and network utilities and working. Okay, network utilities may be consisting of some devices, type of networks, and all the things. We'll understand what is big data and how it is related to social media and security issues. Some security issues we'll be taking. Okay, so computer knowledge. So what is computer actually? When you ask to define a computer, so always we say computer is an electronic device, but will not hold up to that level because we are fascinated by so many of technical terms nowadays, right? There was a word called as family. Okay, that family has been overcome by or maybe so that's been taken over by some other term called as fraternity, right? So we'll be updating ourselves with most of hashtags or some words, technical terms normally. So that's why. Okay, so computer knowledge, basic that computer electronic device is being given with some hi-fi terminologies with how it is working. So so we'll see it once again. What is computer? It's an electronic device, and taking the input and giving the output. So normally it takes the output and gives the output, right? So that's what it does. Okay, so the type of input what you give to the computer must not be continuous. It should be limited. So that term we have added. So term is that computer an electronic device which should be taking input, that is finite input, unambiguous input, processes it and gives to the outside world in the form of a desired output. Okay, what a computer does actually is it processes your data. So then what is a data? Normally you say that computer calculates 2 plus 3. So 2 plus 3 is a data. Normally we know that. But what actually 2 plus 3 are? 2 plus 3 are some kind of information or some kind of data that you are giving to the computer. Okay, so first you have to understand what actually computer understands, then what it does, then how it is working. If you see it, then obviously computer we can understand the basics, right? Okay, the tasks that we give to the computer, right? Normally whatever the task may be, okay, so that is done by one of the device. called as a compiler, because computer do not understand your English like language. It do understands its own language called as a binary language, right? Zeros and ones, whatever the information you take up, whatever the information you want to analyze, store, retrieve, everything is being stored or analyzed in the form of zeros and ones. So how we can say that zeros and ones? Because each and every information is assigned with some information called as ASCII code, ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay, if A is also assigned with some value, 1, 2, 3. So each and every value has its own value in the computer. So that's being stored. Okay, so that is called as a data. So initially the computer is in the form of semantic metadata. So the knowledge in the form of data that computer can autonomously use, that is zeros and ones. So next comes the data, the information in the form of a text that users can understand. As I've told, it is 1, 2, 3. Computer cannot understand 1, 2, 3. It will understand only zeros and ones, where one is converted to zeros and ones. So from the data that we give, and information is retrieved. So information is that what is 2 and what is 3. So 2 and 3 are some kind of data. Okay, so 2 and 3 are which kind of data? That information we get, so that facts about the situation or the person or the event, activities, and all the things. So that is called as an information. What is the useful data is present in the whole collection of data is called as an information. Okay, from the information, so we'll get some knowledge. So what's the knowledge from A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3? Right. So knowledge is that information, understanding that human have in the mind. So I say A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. Now I can understand that A is a whole number, B is a whole number. So that knowledge I do get. So from that ability to use these all knowledge and experience to make a good decision, right? And judgments. Okay, so from this 2 plus 3, I do can uh, evaluate them for getting any of the results. So that's a visitor. Okay, so next, what is a networking understanding? So I did not explain much regarding the networking nowadays, because each and every one will be prevailing themselves in the networking. So we are getting connected to the network with lots of regions, right? So it might be an emotion to get an attention, or making the decisions, or to make money, or whatever it is. Okay, so we'll be doing heck lot of multitasking and networking. So we do uh, get into the network with little of interest in that. So whenever you get into some time, and as and when you go on dumping ourselves into networking, so I just say that I need more of network. So initially you all might be knowing, so data plan of 1 GB per month, what we used to get. So that is not sufficient. That is working only for 1 day now. So nowadays that is not at all sufficient. 1.5 GB of data. So that means whatever we do, so that is not less than a bad habit. Okay, so as already compared it here, it is equivalent to the habits that we are doing, right? So anything more is not that good. But whenever you're into the networking, you have to understand some of the things that are prevailing in the network and use them fruitfully. Okay, so when I say networking, okay, so when I say networking, it do have lot many of devices. Okay, so it do have some wireless devices, switches, routers, media converters, network management devices, and IP power management. Also, it's normally called as now layer 3 switches, some cameras, Okay, normal layer 2 switches, VoIPs, so that is voice over internet protocols. So industrial automation, all these kind of devices. Okay, normally we say, so networking is a concept where most of the things we take are to be analyzed in the form of imagination. Okay, so that's why most of networking concepts are taken to be a little hack to the head, right? So we'll normally bifurcate these all into two kind of devices. Okay, so uh, connection devices, and one is connection, and one is communicating. So connection devices, what normally you take switches here. So layer 2 switch, which will just connect the computers, which will connect the computers. And communicating devices are the devices which will take the router here. So it's a communicating device. Why do we take communicating? Is it will connect as well as it will understand the information that is going through it. Okay, so it will normally say that whenever you're sending a message to some person, it will not go to some other person, X person or Y person. It will go to the destined person only. It is done by a router. So router is a device which connects the two devices, and it will route it to the particular person. So whole network is being divided into two types. First one is connecting device and communicating. So normally, just an example. Okay, so if you want to connect in, go from one stream to another stream, if there is just a bridge connecting the two shores, then that we can call it as a connecting device. So something like a switch going from one place to the other place. But if the same bridge is being installed with a toll gate, so toll gate, just consider toll gate. So toll gate is something like a router. So while entering into the bridge, a toll gate will be there. So they will check whether you have to be allowed or not. Okay, so that checking and everything, understanding the type of information that has to be passed into the network uh, is a working of communicating devices. For example, router. Okay, so when do we have some certain kind of protocols installed in the network? If you understand them, so you'll come to know what exactly the information is, where exactly we have to put our head and extract the information what we require. Okay, so we'll see. So this is exactly how our information moves. Okay, even if you send just a hi message from one person to the another person, or if you send a group message in the uh, WhatsApp or anything, hardly you may call them through any of the mode, maybe voice call, video call, or normal calls, or any kind of call. So all things have to pass through these all colored layers. Okay, normally say that OSI layers. Okay, so what are these OSI layers? So OSI layers are just say that these are all the steps. Okay, so when you're sending some information to the network, so all those information have to follow these steps and reach the person whom it has sent, then follow back through the same steps back and reach to the sender, normally called as sender and receiver. Okay, so how the flow comes? So the flow of the information goes from the top level application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link layer, and physical layer. Okay, from top to bottom, from sender, and when the receiver, it is from physical layer to the application layer, because these will be having its own kind of a stack of layers in the sender side, the stack of layers on the receiver side. So side by side, I have uh, just listed out the facilities and the working of each and every layer. So just an example, as in let's not dig ourselves into the more technical terms. So let's see how our information, right, our information will be sent to, say I am sending a hi message uh, to a person. So it will move on to the application, because we're using a, say I'm sending a message from a WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is an application. So application. So I'll start my initiation from the application layer. So it's an application layer here. So user end layer. So that is user end layer means the one who is using at the end, he will be having his application layer. So while transferring some of the information like file, so FTP will be used if he is connection with SSH, so that is secure socket layer. If you want to have a secure connection, he will use. These are called as protocols. Protocols are some kind of facilities given for each and every type of application. Domain name server, all the things. Okay. So when you send hi, so that hi is taken, and hi will not directly be sent. You all might be noting whenever data is sent to the network, it will not directly as it is sent. Okay. So it has to be sent to network in some other format, normally called as encryption and decryption. So it has to follow certain kind of syntaxes. So normally say that whole information is being divided into different kinds of presentations. Next, it is sent to a particular port. So APIs, so application programming interfaces and sockets it will be used. Okay. And it will check so how exactly it has to be transported, who is the sender, who is the receiver, how it has to be sent, whether it has to be sent through connection oriented, so that is called as an TCP, get transport control protocol, or whether it has to be sent through Wi-Fi. All these kind of informations will be understood in the transport layer. So next, in the network layer, directly they will be sending in the form of chunks of information. If it's just a hi, it is just sent through one packet. So if there is a large a forwarded message, so many kind of data is divided, cannot be sent directly, so it is sent in the form of chunks. Here those will be named 1 2 3, or maybe some called as synchronization numbers. Those will be sent in the network, or normally called as them as broadcasted. In the receiver, those will be once again rearranged in the form as they have sent, and information is once again formatted into a original message. Then you might ask, why exactly, what is the heck we are doing, why have to divide, and why have to regain all those things, right? So here you may not seem it is um, that harmful when you're sending a high message, but when you're sending a personal messages, when you're sending some informations which are too personal or too secure, so then there is a necessary for securing your informations. Okay. So at the data link layer, those will be making use of low level of devices, and those will be uh, encrypted in the means those will be sent in other form, which is non-readable format. Okay. And at the receiver side, those will be decrypted. Okay. So encryption and decryption are done with so many layers, maybe single type, single fold, double fold. Okay. Publicly done, privately done. There are so many algorithms that are using the encryption and decryption technologies, right? In the physical layer, directly the connection through some of the cables and wires and wireless subs, all the things, right? So these are all the basics of networking. When you send some information, okay, so be careful when you're sending the information to the network. So whatever you send, it will be residing. Whatever you send, that will be retaining in the network. Okay. You may nowadays you may have an option called as delete for me, delete for everyone. Okay. Even if you say delete for everyone, don't ever think those will be deleted. Those will be retaining, and those will be there in one or the other place. Okay. If you have to get back them, surely you will be able to get back to them. Okay. So this is a network. So then what exactly is a big data? So what exactly is a big data? So big data is
Sir, your voice is not audible. Are you on mute?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you are audible now.
Yeah, okay, fine, fine. So, okay. So that's what the big data. So big data is actually normally we had say previously. So it was prevailing in the at the peak in 2000. Okay, 2000 to 2005, the big data came to the existence, and it was coming. It has just started its traveling and traveling with three V's. Three V's. Now two more V's have been added to big data. So volume, velocity, a variety of data. So this all the analogy meaning first. Analogy meaning of a normal analogy meaning of English, but these have to be adopted to the network. So volume is volume of data. So volume of data, a huge amount of data that's being dumped onto the network. Okay, and I'll be telling you uh, how exactly the information is stored, and what is the total amount of what's the total amount of information that's been dumped onto the network in a single minute. Velocity, with what speed? I think you all might be knowing. I think you all might be knowing what is the. Okay, so what is the speed of a Google? Okay, so initially it has started with 91 Gbps. Okay, I think you might be knowing it within just not even a second. Okay, you can download somewhere around 180 movies in 1 second. So that's how the speed nowadays, it's been double nowadays. Okay. And variety of data. So variety of data, we do have two types of data. As I already told, structured data, unstructured data. Structured data are the data which are so I'll be taking with an example also how exactly this varieties will work. Okay, so database that you normally fill into Google form, right? Sometimes you'll be having some text to be taken. Okay, that the text will be in the form of uh, rows and columns. So those will be stored in Excel sheet. So those will be once again dumped onto some database. That is a structured data. So unstructured data is all the informations except that. So images, audios, videos, and everything will come under it. And veracity and value. So we'll take with this all analysis. Okay, and these are all the companies that will be they're all working with big data. Google, Oracle, VMware, IBM, CISCO, and Crushbase, Unicast. These are all the companies that are working uh, that are relying on big data nowadays. Okay. Okay. So that's all. These are all the things I have told. 5 V's, and we'll take this an example with any of the things. So it might be in hospital management, it might be any of the company management. All the informations that are filled in the reception, that are filled in the reception, that are filled in the reception are taken to be as the volume of data. Volume of data. Volume of data. It's not only through one hospital, it might be through all the hospitals. Okay, we'll take an example of so playing some games. Okay, so all the games that are played on online games, so those will be filling their data, those will be dumping onto some one or the other places. So when they come to velocity, so velocity is the faster rate. So nowadays you might be knowing, so at least those will be having a certain speed of mbps. Okay, so if one person is dumping so much of information with that velocity, you must just see what could be your structured data here. And it's a mixture of structured unstructured data and unstructured data. All this information will be dumped in one place. And don't think that those will be storing in only one place. For security reasons, and these all informations which are coming up in the databases will be stored in two or many places also. Okay, those can be saved in two or more places for security reasons. Okay, one place is deleted. Okay, normally we study the main storage area network. Okay, so when those have to be uploaded, so you all might be knowing, so at maybe around 4 o'clock in the night, so it will be taking up a backup from your WhatsApp messenger. Okay, or maybe whenever you take a scheduled backup also, those may be taking all the informations that you give, those will be taken a local backup and stored in a proxy server or local server. Normally we say them as a local servers. And in case if local server crashes, so you will not find the information, so that's why those will be taking up a local backups in some other places. How do you retake the backup of images, audios and videos, text messages? Similarly, servers do keep their local backups, and so that's why be careful when you're sending the information, secured information to your friends, right? So veracity is based on the informations we can see what's the kind of accuracy here, what is trustworthiness of the informations, right? From this value we can analyze what is the type of the managements that we are taking, right? So what are the different kinds of frameworks? The frameworks of the frameworks of big data. Okay, so for Cassandra, so Hadoop, Spark. Okay, so that is Apache Spark. So all these are all some kinds of frameworks of big data. So first, so any kind you take, it will be working with the same kind of uh, format, but only thing is the headings may differ. So everything remains the same. So let's take how Hadoop works. Hadoop will be taking its distributed file system, where the file system is the storage of all the files, storing of the files in the format. Which format? It will be having in the file system. Okay, so the format will be having its own kind of storage format. So maybe a tree structure, or maybe in the file format. Okay, so think that, so these will be having the files. So think that you do have some 300 MB of data. So that 300 MB of data is divided into chunks. Okay, normally called as different, or you can see here two red uh, A's, two B's and two C's, right? So 300 data is being divided into three, A, B, C, each of 100 MBs. But why it is taken a replication is that, as I already told in the previous one, so for security reasons your information is being stored onto some different places. In case if first a this a is deleted by some one or the other reason. So in case if you delete your WhatsApp, so in case if you delete, you may try to access the previously restored or previously stored information backup as a backup. Okay, so that's how it works. So next, after it takes the information and storing them into some filing system, so next it will come to the processing of that. So processing of task A's, processing of task B's, and all the things. Say you want to do any of the tasks, so that tasks not only done by single server, that single server doing one particular activity will take more time. So that activities are divided to number of, these are called as supervisors. Okay, so these are all done in n number of supervisors. The task is once again combined and given to the main task. Okay, so thereby data analysis time is reduced drastically. Okay, so as and when you go on increasing the number of servers who are helping the main tasks, so drastically reduce the timing. Next, information that is stored finally and given to the website. So what analysis can be done? So there is a game. Okay, so Hollow 3 game and Call of Duty game. Okay, so many of they're just an example how exactly the work. So those will be playing the games online. So information that are being stored each and every time. Okay, so those will be kept analyzing, and uh, in case if some of the person is pausing at particular time or maybe restarting at that particular point. Okay, so you might be thinking some of the games are very difficult, you cannot pass the, level 2, level 3 or something. So if everyone is coming to level 2 and stopping the game or uninstalling, of if everyone is coming to level 2 and restarting the game and starting playing 1 and 2 only, then you can understand. So those are all done by the analytics here. So in the second stage those will be done in the analytics, and you can make the ease of the level 3 and level 4. So thereby you can reduce the customers uh, urge of uninstalling or restarting the games, right? So this how analysis can be done. So why big data is such an important thing nowadays? So so obviously we do have uh, so many of answers for this. So reduction of the cost, as you may not invest for much of the facilities like platforms, softwares, and all the things. Those will be available in the network in the form of clouds nowadays. Okay, so platform as a service, in information as software as a service, platform as a service, and all the things. Okay, so time reductions can be done as you do not have to be done by single servers, so it is done by multiple number of servers. Multiple number of servers, so thereby it can reduce the number of times that you can be reduced by time reduction. Okay, so the new product development and optimized offerings. Okay, so as I already told in the previous one, the analysis can be done for each and every product that we launch onto the market. Can smart decision making can be done, so when you combine a big data with high powered analytics. Okay, with analysis you can do whatever you want. So we can determine the root of cause for the failures and the issues, defects, and which are in the real time. Okay, generating a coupon set point of sale based on the customers buying the habits. I think you all might be knowing nowadays, you are not getting, I think, Google Pay. Okay, let's see. Let's have an example of Google Pay. So initially, Google Pay was providing um, scratch cards where you used to get some money like 5 rupees, 10 rupees, and all the things. But as and when those are all been addicted to them, uh, everyone have transferred themselves into an online transactions using Google Pays. Right. So those are the kinds, and you might be knowing lens cards and solitaire and all things are giving scratch cards in phone pay nowadays. So all these all kind of analytics or uh, the customers to accomplish the business related tasks, okay, and recalculating entire risk portfolios in a minute, so and detecting fraudulent behavior before it affects your organization. So this all can be known earlier, this all can be known earlier before those will get affected. Okay, so this is what actually we have to understand. So what happens into the uh, internet in just 1 minute or just 60 seconds, what is done? So what happens to the data, how much data is created, generated, and known to the outside, or you can say generated and dumped in one of the other places. Okay, so wherever you start, the numbers seems to be very high. Okay, so you can see 3,90,030 applications are downloaded in just 1 minute. You can just take 1 MB also, 1 MB also, 3,90,030 apps. Okay, now I think you all might be knowing. So what would be the data size? Okay, and 4.8 million GIFs are served, and 87,000 people are on Twitter in just 1 minute. You can just see 3.8 million, 3.8 million. So that is somewhere around 3 crores. Okay, so many requests in just 1 minute. Okay, 4.6 million messages are sent over WhatsApp, Twitters, and all other messages. 1.188 million emails are sent. So these are all the statistics uh, that are looking into each and every applications that were using Netflix. So many hours of data is being watched in just 1 minute. So hours of data means the number of users number of users multiplied into 1 minute. Okay, so I think you all may be knowing nowadays scrolls. Okay, so it is 3,47 in 222 scrolls, okay, and 1.4 million of swipes. So these are the statistics will just give even a basic, very basic level of analogy. Okay, you can just think how much of data is generated and where it has to be stored, how a data uh, disk has to be created for this, for storing these all kinds of data. Okay, just to store the information in your phone, you'll be upgrading your phone to 32 GB to 64 GB, 64 GB to 128 GB phone. Okay, so if this is the scenario of a one person, so just think what could be the uh, scenario of the whole world, where it's 100 crores, 100 crore people are logging into the network single time. Okay, so how big data works? So as I already told, people are logging into the uh, networking with their one or the other purposes. So before the business can put the big data onto the work for them, so they should consider how it flows among the locations, sources, systems, and owners and users. Okay, so there are 5 steps into taking the charge of big data. So that is, first one is set a big data strategy. So we do have a kind of strategy, identify the big data sources and how to access them and manage them. So analysis the data. So as already taken an example, how to analyze the data. Okay, so flown. Okay, okay. So 7 ways to use big data. Okay, so we're all So nowadays, um, most of the people business insights that form just is the meaningful of means of communications. Okay, since being initially developed for connecting people, so initially the networking was just to connect the two people. The phone was introduced, or we can take connection of two computers. Okay, information exchange was not the main purpose. It was connection of the two computers was the main purpose. Then come to the social media. Then it was evolved into social media, exchanging their of information. Okay, only it was purpose of sharing the useful information. Okay, so now the complete entity of social media has changed, or complete entity of the network has been changed. Okay, so social media marketers should combine important functions for both technicians and businessmen. Okay, so in the last year, you can see the 3,47,222 posts were published on the Instagram. Customers spending so much, so that is 10 lakh dollars online. So for all the purposes, so that was a survey done in the big data. So people are sending almost 41 million texts over WhatsApp, and Amazon shipping is 6659 parcels. Okay, so overall 59% of the global population can access the web now. Okay, so about the literacy and illiteracy rate. So all over the world, 59%, that is almost more than half. Okay, so most of people are can access the web. So access the web is not just like saying Google, hi Google, and all the things. It's like using actually what uh, the network is made for, social media is made for, or networking devices are made for. Okay, so how big data is affecting the social media, and this is a very big um, or very emerging information that you have to know. So the overflow of posts. Okay, the posts are it might be anything, so related to uh, any kind of area, related to might be money, and related might be to politicians, or any kind of posts, overflow of posts, comments, likes, dislikes, and most of the things nowadays analyze. So at this point we can see, so you'll all be getting stars, right? Stars for a particular product in Amazon, Flipkart, or anything. So how those all stars are given? So stars are given based on the comments. So comments once again are divided into neutral comments and positive comments and negative comments. So as and when the positive comments goes on increasing, so the comments are transformed into the stars. So all those analysis is done on the big data. And so at this point, I'll quote one more example. So when you go to the malls or more, or any kind of places where there is a market, so most of the items that are interrelated, so interrelated are kept one beside the other. It's not that they are keeping because they look nice, or the space is inevitable for them. Those are not the reasons. They have analyzed these all markets for 3 years, and they understood what actually to be kept beside the other. Okay, so why do they keep cookies beside uh, the chips, or any packets, lays packets, and all the things? Why they do keep all the grains in a single row? Why do they keep sugar just beside the coffee packets, or maybe a tea powder packets? So these are all analytics. So it is evident that a person takes uh, evident that person takes a sugar whenever he buys teapot, or more likely. So this kind of analytics are being done. So um, right. So varieties of such analysis are done based on the big data. So following and the followers, so that appears from a social media resources. Okay, so development of these big data strategies. Okay, so according to the some of the statistics, the 2.38 billion of monthly active users, okay, that were present in first level of 2019. So okay, so these are all the data that are affecting the social media. So you can see, so from each and every platform, how many number of users are getting connected to the social media. Okay, so these are all the some statistics. Okay, and the impact of predictive analysis, the analysis that we have just done in big data. Okay, so impact of these all predict analysis on social media marketing. Okay, if you just analyze, okay, we'll take, I think you might be well versed with watching the videos in a Facebook, right, in a video tab. So when you open a video, uh, in case if you do not scroll them for a long time, okay, at this point you can see uh, when a video is being watched for some certain period of time, let's say 1 minute, you might be seeing the same kind of video, same related video just below the Facebook video. It will be appearing a new video of the same type will be appearing. So that is your interest, okay, person's interest. Okay, so that will show you the person's interest. Okay, it will show you the consumer behavior, how consumer is working nowadays. I think you all might be knowing nowadays most of the consumers are going with packed food and fast foods. Okay, so you can understand how machine learning is done, how the patterns are working. You can go ahead with scorings and visualizations, and you can understand predictive behavior. So that's why most of users will be getting, most of the users, 99.99% will be getting their analytics. Okay, if you just open a Facebook or any kind of data, so initially those will be scrambled, data will be scrambled. Once those all being viewed by you, certain kind of data, those will be rearranged according to your interest. Okay, so decision is done based on or analytics is being done on your kind of viewing of the posts or videos, and those will be rearranged and being shown to you or shown to your thread. Okay, so this will end this, and some social networking safety tips that you have to remember. Okay, so you have to be very cautious when you're sharing the data. So don't think that if I just click delete for everyone, it will be deleted in the uh, database. There is uh, no guarantee that, or no guarantee, not at all. Okay, adjust your privacy setting. I will show you, demonstrate you exactly how you have to set your privacy settings, and limit your details about work history. You have to keep on looking into the work histories and how work histories being are accessed. So verify who all are connected with you, connected to the internet. And so when you on the hotspot, so you'll come to know how many are being connected. Similarly, the uh, each and every device which are giving an access to you will be knowing. Okay, you can, in case if you have your own private network, you can come to know how many computers are being connected with that actually access points. Okay, keep control of comments. Beware of impersonators. Okay, do not share personal details, as most of you all know that nowadays everyone have an awareness towards not sharing the data. Okay, so check out your one account. It should not be led to the duplication of or fraudulent accounts. So nowadays, Facebook accounts have been with the same photos and everything. Those are all launching same kinds of account. Okay, so know your employer boundaries and acceptable use policies. Okay, so you must know what exactly your limitations, what should be accessed and what should not be accessed. Okay, even if those are all liable, I think you all might be knowing in the cyber security crime, if a person opens his hotspot uh, without a password, accessing his net is also a crime. So that's what cybersecurity says. So you must know your limitations. So control what information is shared with outside world, and be careful of overfriending just common friends and everything. Okay, is not uh, guaranteed thing to make him as a friend. Okay, what goes online stays online. Yeah, this is the point. 11 point number 11 should be a point number 1. Okay, what goes online stays online forever, until and unless those all disastered and everything goes damaged, until unless then whole data will be on the online. Okay, so know how to block unfriendly followers. You must be knowing what to block, what not to block, whom you have to friend and unfriend. Okay, keep your passwords strong. Okay, so all these are all the things that you have to take care. Okay, so uh, for you, so I have just opened, okay, Google. So I'll put on to Google. So these are all the things. Okay, why okay, okay. So you can see Google page. You can see a Google page. You can see a Google page. Yes. I'll show you a place. Okay, maybe your Gmail account or any kind of account. So why those will be uh, giving you some ads and everything. Okay, sometimes you are not aware, like you have not been accessed to any of the accounts or any of the ads and all that, but you'll be getting some uh, notifications of them, and you can just want to see. Okay, so go to ad uh, settings dot google.com and enter it. Hit the first link. So it will be asking you to log in, because to whom just log in with my uh, username and password. Okay, so you can see here. Yes, you can all see what are your privacy settings with your Gmail. Okay, so all the ad permissions that I have enabled here. So I have enabled the permissions of ad. So Google makes your ad more useful. Google makes your ad more useful on Google services, such as searching the on YouTube. Whatever you search there with related information will come to your Gmail. So that apps that are partners with Google and show ads. So these are the analytics platforms. Okay, based on this, they do analyze. So here ad personalization is on. So this you have to make it as an off. Okay, so turn off. In case if you keep it on, so if you keep on searching the things, it will. Okay, so before that, we'll do it. So your mail here. So from 25 years to 34 years old. Okay, language that has been searching for in the internet are see here. So this is the analytics that has been given for me or my Gmail account. I have been searching the internet for English for most of the time, and English as a secondary, Hindi as a English as a first priority, Hindi as a second priority, and Kannada as a third priority. So this is one analytics that has been done on my account. Okay, so that you can manage, so that you can manage and see, so what all the things are there, so that you can do. Okay. Okay, so next, place of living and everything, Bangalore, and I have given uh, most of the things. So when I'm searching the things, I have given C fever for alcoholic types of uh, searches, or alcoholic types of scrolls or videos, anything. I have taken it as C fever, some kind of gambling kind of activities or posts or audios and videos, that I have made it as a favorite. Just turn it off. It will not be synchronizing with okay, you'll be you can still see the ads, but you will no longer be able to set your preferences and ad advertisements. Okay, choose that what you have made for ads. Okay, so those are so turn it off. Okay, so now here you will not be having it, so you will not be making them to accessing it. Okay, so this is one point of time. Okay, so once again relaunch the Google. Okay, so how your information is being tracked. Okay, so how your information is being tracked is, so it's on Google. So say I'm saying uh, okay, so just give today. Okay, today is good day, right? So this is what I have typed. So some information is being retrieved. Okay, so these are the information retrieved. How this will be kept track by the service. Okay, now I have not given it. So what I will do is I will just right click on this. Just if you want, you can have um, right click on this in case here. So below this page source, there is an inspect element. Okay, so you can see, you all can see some code is being generated, some code of the page. So inspect element. So this is the page design. Okay, page designs. There are so many of information that's being displayed with related to this. A code is designed here. This is the code. Okay, so we do have so many options here. Okay, so there's a console, source, and all the things. Okay, so now what I will do is, so the same, not this. Okay, I will give today is uh, Friday, right? So just this. Yes, I'll search this. Right. So we can see network. You can see the network. Yes. So many kinds of information are being. Okay, if you want, you can search this. Yes, information is being done here. You can just take the initiator here. Searches. Yes. You can just search for what you have searched. Yes. Can you see here information what I have searched? Okay, what I have searched is here. Yes, I'll show you what has been searched. Yes, today is Friday. The values today is Friday. It is searched. Okay, I'll just show it once again. You can see. Yes. Yes. Okay. Just a minute. Yes. You can go down here. Then down. Okay, we'll search it once again. Okay, I will take one more. Prince Friday song. Some song is being displayed. You can search for that. Friday song. So each and every item will be displayed here. Today is good day. Right. So I'll go on to the network. Search it. So it is taking all the searches. Okay. Sources and search for it. Yes. Right. So you can see here exactly. Yes. today is good day. So that's being uh, that's being generated and given here. So with this place where those will be accessing your informations. Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful. It's not a fault of you, but it's information that will be generated in the web pages. So you have to be very cautious what you are giving and what you are giving and what is actually being accessed by you. So that's why whatever the information you search, so those all being accessed and seen by each and everyone. So normally when you give the passwords, so those passwords will be left behind by you, left behind by you in one or the other places, right? So in case if you want to check your passwords of any of your get to uh, okay, the last one. Let's just to make safety of your check passwords. Okay, let's go on to you can just take any of the browser. Okay, browser nowadays you can go with the browser here. So any browser, right? Any Microsoft Edge browser you can take, or Google Chrome you can take, any kind of browser you can take. Go on to the settings here. Go on to the settings here. Go on to the settings. Okay, synchronization is on because you have been logged in. The synchronization is on, and here, okay, so it's already on. Here, one thing you have to take is when the synchronization is on. So try to check with when synchronization is on. When it's off, it will ask for your logging in. Okay, here, safety check. Go on to this safety check. So most of your browsing data and all things you'll be doing it, not allowing some of the cookies on some different sites. Okay, so these all you will be doing it, but only thing is first option that you coming with so much of bright option here, you will not be doing this. Check to this now. Okay, so it will be doing, see here 103. Okay, I will do it once again. You can see here 103 sites, that place where I have used my passwords. So one of the piece of websites I will be using them, but no compromised passwords are found. That means you can check them. In case if one or two are there, that will be listed just below it. Okay, so those will be just here. Okay, so these are the places where I have used. So these are no compromise. That means the password, the places where I have used. So these are the save passwords of mine, and no website is using it for alternative purpose. Those will be done. Okay, so these are the places of very in case if you cannot give your more securities, okay, on social media, at least you can give social security for your computers or an access to social media platforms. So these are few things that I would like to share with you. So with this, so I would like to thank the management and management. Those are given an opportunity for me to share some of the information that I know to uh, all the participants over here. Okay, so thank you one and all for patient hearing. Okay.